All right, this is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing. Started my digital inspection at 5725 Waverly Avenue out here in Pacific Beach in San Diego. Started my digital inspection. We are on top of this older 3-tab shingle roof. Right off the bat, I want to point out that we poked our head in the attic, and this material was installed directly on top of an old wood shake roof, which means that this roof has skip sheathing, which means that we are going to have to add plywood decking throughout the entire structure. So pointing that out right off the bat. Again, older 3-tab shingle roof. A lot of exposed nail heads on this roof, and that's kind of how these roofs were installed. Got a dead area right here, this dead valley where water just sits and ponds. This is always going to be really susceptible to leaks. So no matter what I am going to do on this section is when we redo it, we're going to get rid of this torch down material. I want to add a TPO material. TPO is more of a commercial grade product. It's going to turn this entire portion of the roof into one singular membrane. You'll notice that with this torch down material, the way that it's installed is these flaps are all laid down and then heat welded together, but you can see if they don't use enough heat, then everything starts to get really loosened up. I don't see any bleed out on this material, which tells me that they didn't use enough heat in general. And when you don't use enough heat, then everything starts to get really loose. And if my finger can do that, then obviously water can get underneath it as well. So TPO is going to turn this into one singular membrane. It's extremely waterproof. It also does a really good job of reflecting heat and sunlight off the property. So it's going to kind of help cool down that area a little bit as well. Nothing crazy because it's not that big of a spot, but it is going to help in the long run. The other thing I want to point out is the penetration. So you'll notice all the sealant around these penetrations is starting to wear through. Water's coming down this every single time it rains. So we're going to be resealing all of these penetrations and reflashing them as well. You'll notice that we have a lot of granule loss on this product. So you'll see all these gutters are filled with the granules from the actual roofing material. So you can see how deep that is. So that's all granules from the actual shingle itself. So essentially what's happening is the oils on this product have depleted over time and evaporated. And as those oils evaporate, those granules start to roll off and deplete, and they'll end up in areas where that water just accumulates kind of like this. So that's a telltale sign that the product has gone well past its life expectancy. Another area where we have a flat roof transition, looks like they went ahead and added some elastomeric coating over it. But again, we're going to tear that off and go with that TPO material. The other thing you'll notice with 3-tab shingle roofs is the adhesiveness starts to go down pretty quickly. You can see how everything kind of starts to flap around in the wind. And once it gets to that point, well, at that point, the waterproofing is greatly affected. If the wind can push that water underneath these shingles, then obviously that's gonna be an issue. And then lastly, you'll notice that this material is installed with staples as opposed to roofing nails. That is no longer up to code. So when we put this new roof on, we will be using roofing nails to go ahead and install the product. So in conclusion, this roof does need to be replaced, but we are going to have to add that plywood decking to it. So we'll resheathe the entire property. At that point, we're going to be replacing the felt underlayment that is underneath this roof with a synthetic underlayment. We're an Owens Corning preferred contractor. So that means that that synthetic underlayment is part of their 50-year warranty that they're gonna receive, or that the owner is gonna receive from Owens Corning. And then that is gonna go along with our lifetime workmanship warranty that you are gonna receive from us over at Build Brothers. All our crews are in-house, all licensed and insured. So once that synthetic underlayment is installed, we're also gonna be installing brand new drip edge along the entire perimeter. This piece of metal right here on your neighbor's roof, that is the drip edge. It allows that water to run off the metal as opposed to running off the wood itself. Wood repair is always that unknown variable. I explained that to the property manager, and I'll explain that to the owner also. Once all that is complete, we'll reseal, reflash all the penetrations, and then the architectural shingle is installed. And now this homeowner has a roof that they won't have to deal with for the next 35 plus years or so. But yeah, in my conclusion, this roof does need to be replaced. All new decking, synthetic underlayment, 50-year warranty from the manufacturer, lifetime workmanship warranty from us over at Build Brothers. That's it for my inspection.